Embark on your civil services journey with Vision IS. Introducing the Delhi GS Foundation Course 2026, turning UPSC dreams into reality. Access interactive learning tools, animations, videos, and an immersive interface. Utilize our tech-enabled student portal for performance tracking and personalized feedback. Stay ahead with daily assignments, weekly mini tests, and monthly revisions. Strengthen your preparation with expert-researched, UPSC pattern study material. Delhi General Studies Foundation Course 2026. Batches start 29th November, 5 p.m., Karol Bagh. 19th November, 9 a.m., Karol Bagh. Take the first step towards success. With Vision IS, success is just a step away.
Good evening everyone. All good? Badhiya? Chalo. I welcome you all to this masterclass series. We have done a few of these sessions earlier. We'll be doing 2 sessions as in 2 parts today. We'll discuss 2 topics. The one would be the exchange rate depreciation, the reasons, the challenges, the opportunities of that. And the second one would be with respect to stock markets or capital markets, especially the role of FIIs in our stock markets, foreign institutional investors in our stock markets, and other aspects also. We'll discuss those things. So let's begin with the first topic, the rupee dollar exchange rate, and why has it been in news in recent times? What have been the factors that have been driving dollar to become expensive, vice versa rupee to become cheaper and cheaper? The factors behind this, the challenges, opportunities, historical aspects, we'll discuss those things, right? Okay, let's start. The purpose of this masterclass series is, as the name suggests, masterclass. The purpose of this series is to rise up above what we have discussed in our classes or what is the basics. Some of you have been our students, have been my students particularly, but this is open for everybody. Still, I should point this out that when we are discussing this thing, when we are discussing these things, we will focus less on the basics, we'll move more to the current affairs, that is the more advanced part. Still, if you have any issues, as in if there is something that is conceptual that requires an explanation, I'll try to explain that part also, but this is more of a current affairs, more of news driven class, so that you understand what is going on around us. Maybe from that there are questions asked in the exam, but this is more of a general discussion that we are going to have. All right, let's start. Rupee dollar exchange rate, the challenges of our currency depreciation. If there is a challenge, what are the reasons, opportunities, all those things. Let's start. Okay. How has our exchange rate system evolved over a period of time? Exchange rates. What is an exchange rate? Exchange rate is the price that you pay to purchase one foreign currency in units of your domestic currency. I want to buy something called as dollars. I don't know what this dollar is or euro is. There is something that exists in the market called as dollars. I want to buy that thing. How much money do I have to pay? What is it that I have? I use in form of money? Rupees. How much rupees do I have to pay to get this thing, 1 unit of this thing called as dollars? That is what exchange rate is. Because dollar being a currency, rupee being a currency, the money that I have to shell out to purchase dollars, that is what exchange rate is. What kind of exchange rate system have we followed historically? As in, how was price of exchange system का मतलब क्या हुआ? How was price of $1 determined in units of rupee? Earlier, as in if you go back around 100 years or so, we had the gold exchange system or the gold standard system. Every currency, every country would keep the value of its currency fixed in units of gold. जैसे आज हम बोलते हैं RBI says मैं धारक को 100 रुपये देने का वादा करता हूँ, I promise to pay the bearer sum of 100 rupees. इंग्लैंड की करेंसी क्या है? पाउंड स्टर्लिंग. पाउंड किस चीज़ का यूनिट है? पाउंड किस चीज़ का यूनिट है? वेट का. और स्टर्लिंग क्या है? Sterling is an alloy of silver, 93% silver, 7% tin or something like that. So 1 pound sterling, I promise to pay the bearer 1 pound of sterling silver. That means your currency's value, the promise on the note, is in units of something that is real. I'm promising to pay some gold. I mean, I can write the promise in gold also, but usually central banks would write some other promises. Central banks would fix the value of their currencies in units of gold. Just for example, not some actual value, just for example, central bank says that this piece of paper that you people are going to use as money, this piece of paper's value is, let's say, 1 ounce of gold, is 0.01 grams of gold. And let's call this thing, let's say $1. Let me use a denomination called as dollar for this particular thing. So you people, we people are going to use this piece of paper to carry out exchanges which central bank has issued. This is the gold standard system. Each country would have a currency based on gold standard. And because gold being kind of a standard commodity across the world, having a uniform, almost a uniform price, demand supply across the world, you can calculate the value of one currency in units of another currency via the gold. So let's say, just for example, 1 grams of gold, let's say $1 is equals to 1 grams gold. And the British Central Bank has said that 1 pound is equals to 5 grams gold. So $1 equal to 1 gram gold and 1 pound equal to 5 grams gold. Therefore, now you can convert $1 value into pounds value. So this is the gold standard based exchange rate system. तो वहाँ पे countries की कोई ऐसे currencies की कोई exchange rate market नहीं है. Domestic central bank ने अपनी वैल्यू सेट कर रखी है हर एक सेंट्रल बैंक ने, एंड ऑन बेसिस ऑफ दैट यू कैन कैरी आउट द एक्सचेंजेस. दैट इज द ओल्ड सिस्टम, दैट वाज द गोल्ड स्टैंडर्ड सिस्टम. देन पोस्ट 1944 जब हमारे पास ब्रेटन वुड्स इंस्टीट्यूशंस आए, IMF वाज क्रिएटेड. Bretton Woods system gave something called as a par value system. Now in that par value system, what happened was, because most of the gold went to America, around 70% of gold reserves went to America post World War II, as in the sense because Americans were selling goods and as a result the foreigners were liable to make payments to Americans. So because most of the gold came to American central bank, तो अगर ब्रिटिश सेंट्रल बैंक ने प्रॉमिस कर रखा था कि हमारी एक करेंसी की वैल्यू, एक यूनिट की वैल्यू 5 ग्राम ऑफ गोल्ड के बराबर है, जब गोल्ड ही नहीं तो फिर काहे का प्रॉमिस? If you don't have gold with you, you will not be in a position to discharge that liability. So therefore, because most central banks across the world, they became incapable to issue those gold standard promises. As a result, nobody could now give a promise that our currency will be valued in gold. They did give promises, but effectively they could not give those promises. Americans were in a position that they could give those promises, at least in a position. Would they give those promises or not? Would they give a right to convert the currency into gold or not? That's a different thing, but at least they're in a better position than everybody else. So जो Bretton Woods system था, वहाँ पे हमने क्या किया? We created gold at top, as in gold would be the real asset. Gold will be exchangeable or convertible only to dollars, as in by law. And dollar will be convertible to other currencies. इसको हम बोलते हैं par value system. Again, I'll give an example, not the actual value. Let's say 1 grams of gold equal to $10, or $1 becomes equal to 1 upon 10 grams of gold, just for example. And $1 is equal to, let's say, 2 euros. और उस समय तो यूरो नहीं था, लेट्स से 2 पाउंड स्टर्लिंग. सो गोल्ड की वैल्यू इन टर्म्स ऑफ डॉलर्स और डॉलर की वैल्यू इन टर्म्स ऑफ पाउंड स्टर्लिंग. सो वी हैड दीज करेंसीज दैट वर पेग्ड, इसको पेगिंग बोलते हैं, फिक्स एक्सचेंज. दे वर पेग्ड टू dollar, pegged to gold, other currencies pegged to dollar, and then third tier currency, let's say like Indian rupee pegged to UK pound sterling. That was a system developed by IMF. But eventually countries, जो बीच वाली currencies थी, ये currencies बीच की चली गई, and then we had countries currencies who had a value fixed in units of dollar. Dollar had a value fixed in units of gold. So that was a Bretton Woods par system. Then post 1970s, because 1970s में, in 1971 to be precise, America withdrew itself from that gold standard system. American President Richard Nixon, what did he say? He said that by ab se there is no guarantee that anybody is going to have with respect to converting our currency dollar into gold. तो इसको gold standard system से बोला कि withdraw कर लिया. अमेरिकन सिटीजन्स के पास ये राइट पहले भी नहीं था. आई थिंक 1920s में इस राइट को पहले ले लिया गया था. अमेरिकन सिटीजन्स जो उनके पास डॉलर थे, दे कुड नॉट गो टू अमेरिकन सेंट्रल बैंक एंड कन्वर्ट देम टू gold, but foreign government specifically, they had this right. जो IMF system create किया था, foreign governments had that right that they could go to American central bank, convert the dollars that they had. जो ब्रिटेन के पास डॉलर्स होंगे उनको कन्वर्ट कर सकता है गोल्ड में. 1971 में रिचर्ड निक्सन ने इस राइट को खत्म कर दिया, मीनिंग गोल्ड वाज नो लॉन्गर कन्वर्टेबल इन डॉलर वाज नो लॉन्गर कन्वर्टेबल इनटू गोल्ड. And because this system collapsed, this system was withdrawn by Americans. As a result, a new system was required. That how will इंडिया अगर चाइना से कुछ गुड्स खरीद रहा है, अमेरिका से कुछ गुड्स खरीद रहा है, तो हम पेमेंट कैसे करेंगे? हमारी करेंसी, हमने जो गुड्स प्रोड्यूस किए हैं उनकी प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट तो रुपीज में है. अ शर्ट हैज बीन प्रोड्यूस्ड, दिस शर्ट हैज टू बी सोल्ड. The Indian producer is incurred a cost of 1,000 rupees. How will an American buy this shirt? You need some mechanism to convert this shirt's value of rupees into dollars value. How will that value be calculated? तो फिर हमने एक नया सिस्टम निकाला कि भाई किस तरीके से एक्सचेंज रेट कैलकुलेट करते हैं. So the first step was that there was a pegged basket of currencies that were used. कि कुछ currencies लेते हैं, इनकी क्या वैल्यू है, pegged value जो गोल्ड के डॉलर के साथ है उसका कुछ एवरेज निकाल लेंगे. So first for this system and then gradually move to a market driven exchange rate system, meaning जहाँ पे demand and supply determine कर रही हैं what will be the value of one currency in some other currency. Today that is the most important thing. Now let's come to the present. Today the system that we have is, today we have a market driven exchange rate system. Today it is a market that determines what will be the value of $1 in terms of rupees. Market का मतलब क्या हुआ? Market का मतलब हुआ demand and supply. There is demand of dollars, there is supply of dollars, and based on demand supply there is a price of dollars. Understand the word market. Market का मतलब क्या होता है? When you say market, when you say demand supply, इस शब्द का मतलब क्या है? demand supply का क्या चीज है market? An instant, any instant where an exchange is taking place, that instant is a market. There is a demander, there is a supplier. Somebody who goes, I want to travel to US, I need some dollars for myself. I'll go to, there are so many shops in Karol Bagh exchange counters. I'll go to one exchange counter, walk up on that counter and say, भैया $200 दे दो. जैसे मेरे को पानी की आवश्यकता है, मैं पानी की दुकान के ऊपर चला जाऊंगा. मोबाइल की आवश्यकता है, मोबाइल की दुकान के ऊपर चला जाऊंगा. डॉलर की आवश्यकता है, मैं डॉलर की दुकान के ऊपर चला जाऊंगा. लेकिन पानी बिस्लरी बना रही है, मोबाइल फोन एप्पल सैमसंग बना रही है, तो उसका प्राइस वो तय कर रहे हैं. डॉलर तो फेडरल रिजर्व बना रहा है, वो तो उसका प्राइस तय नहीं कर रहा है. दैट व्हाट शुड बी द प्राइस ऑफ डॉलर्स इन इंडियन मार्केट. करोल बाग मार्केट में डॉलर किस प्राइस का बिकेगा वो तो तय नहीं कर रहा है. हियर इट्स ट्रूली, दिस फॉरेक्स मार्केट इज ट्रूली अ डिमांड सप्लाई बेस्ड मार्केट. There is a demand, there is a supply, and based on that there is a price. Now how do, when let's say today $1 price is 84.5 rupees. Where do we get to know this price from? We open up Google, some currency conversion website, and we see कि भी आज $1 कितने का है. When I walk up to that currency counter, he says I'm going to give you $1 for 86.5 rupees, not 84.5. मैं आपको ₹2 ज़्यादा के अंदर सेल करूँगा. He can ask for 87, he can ask for 90, he can ask for 95. Nobody is stopping him from asking anything. That is freedom. I don't want to buy because somebody is selling at 90, something that is, I see on Google, something that is available for 85 rupees. I don't want to buy it for 90 rupees. So I'm also free to walk and go over to somebody else. Freedom. There is a freedom that everybody has to exchange this particular thing. But how will I be able to exchange that thing for a reasonable price? अगर मार्केट मतलब गूगल पे मेरे को प्राइस दिख रहा है 84.5 है, तो मैं कैसे उसको 85 में या 85.5 में कैसे खरीद पाऊँ उस चीज को? उसके लिए मेरे को ये समझना पड़ेगा कि वो प्राइस 84.5 कहाँ से आए. Where does that price come from? I go to that shop. I am not the only demander. He is not the only supplier. How do we determine the price? Markets. करेंसी मार्केट्स, फॉरेक्स मार्केट, जैसे स्टॉक मार्केट्स हैं वैसे ही स्टॉक मार्केट के ऊपर करेंसी भी ट्रेड होती है. यूएसडी आईएनआर फॉर एग्जांपल, अमेरिकन डॉलर इंडियन रुपी, जापानीज येन इंडियन रुपी, यूरो इंडियन रुपी, चाइनीज रेनमिनबी इंडियन रुपी. सो देयर आर करेंसी मार्केट्स आल्सो वेयर देयर आर lakhs or millions of demanders, lakhs or millions of suppliers. There are so many buyers and sellers because there is such a big breadth of market. As a result of that, everybody puts in their demand that I want to buy $100 for 83 rupees, I want to buy 100 for 82 rupees, I want to buy 100 for 84 rupees, I want to sell $100 for 85 rupees, I want to sell them for 90, I want to sell them for 95, I want to sell them for 84.5. There are many suppliers who are asking for a price of their good, that is dollar. There are many demanders who are bidding for this particular good, putting in some price. There is a bid and there is an ask. Because there are lakhs of buyers, lakhs of sellers, now we expect that there is going to be a rational exchange between them. And that rational exchange takes place at a price that is called as a market price. Forex market में क्या price है currency का, वो है forex का price. अब फॉरेक्स मार्केट में जहां पे लाखों लोगों ने आपस में इंटरैक्ट करके पता किया कि प्राइस वाज 84.5, देयरफॉर नाउ व्हेन आई गो टू दैट करोल बाग शॉप, I know that the rational price is 84.5, and therefore now I know that if he is charging 90 from me, he is overcharging from me. I shall be able to find somebody who is willing to give this thing, not lend, sell this thing to me at a much lower price than that. Obviously convenience है. अगर मैं मार्केट में फॉरेक्स मार्केट पे प्राइस देख रहा हूं तो वहां पे मेरे को फिजिकल डॉलर तो नहीं मिल रहे हैं. एक कन्वीनियंस भी, मेरे को डॉलर करेंसी नोट भी चाहिए, मेरे को मार्केट में ट्रेड भी नहीं करना है, वहां पे जाके लेना, तो वो पर्सन में से कुछ अपनी कन्वीनियंस के चार्जेस जरूर लेगा ही लेगा, बट स्टिल एक रैशनल चार्ज लेगा. आई नो दैट 84.5 इज द मार्केट प्राइस. आई नो दैट आई एम विलिंग टू पे हिम 85.5, मे बी 86 rupees, but not let's say 88 rupees. This is how we determine exchange rates today. As in, this is what exchange rates are today. Market determined exchange rates. So today we have a market based system, market based exchange rate system. There is some sort of intervention, as there is some sort of control that is still practiced today. Earlier we had a fixed exchange rate system, matlab pegged basket exchange system. Post 1993 we moved to this market based system. Still there are some interventions that RBI does. RBI intervenes in the forex market to curb excess volatility. अगर रुपी का प्राइस बहुत volatile हो रहा है, बहुत ज़्यादा ऊपर नीचे जा रहा है एकदम से, in short span of time it moves rapidly up or down. There are speculators influencing the value of rupees. In that case, RBI will intervene. RBI will not target any particular value of rupee, value of dollar. कि $1 85 का है, $1 120 का है, just theoretically speaking, RBI को कोई चिंता नहीं. चिंता, as in, just exaggerating a little bit, RBI does not care that $1 is 70 or 60 or 85 or 90. What RBI simply does is it looks at the volatility. If dollar's value is highly volatile, meaning there is somebody who is speculating in this dollar's value, in that case RBI will intervene, but otherwise RBI does not intervene. As far as RBI is concerned, अगर धीरे धीरे बढ़ती हुई जानी है value 120 के ऊपर पहुंचे, हमको फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. It doesn't matter. It should not be volatile, excessively volatile. That is the only condition of RBI's intervention. Otherwise, exchange rates are market determined. इस system को हम बोलते हैं managed float system. Floating मतलब free float, as in market determined. Managed मतलब there is some sort of management that RBI does. Managed float, dirty float, किसी भी नाम से बोल लो, mixed exchange system, whatever you want to call this. This is what a managed float exchange system is. That is what we have today, right? Sorry, this is not how it's supposed to be. No. I think this data is, there is some problem in conversion. I'll draw this chart. ये थोड़ा सा ना format change होने के ऊपर इसने change कर दिया है. I'll draw this chart. The chart that I had was not this. I'll draw the correct chart. I had drawn here, I had collected data of USD to INR. हिस्टोरिकल डेटा हैड कलेक्टेड कि 1947 से आज तक का क्या एक्सचेंज रेट है. ये लाइन बिल्कुल गलत है, ये चार्ट ठीक नहीं है. ये चार्ट ठीक इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि ये फॉर कन्वर्ट करने में मेरे लैपटॉप से पेन ड्राइव और पेन ड्राइव से यहाँ पे आने में कुछ फॉर्मेट में प्रॉब्लम हो गई है. आई विल ड्रॉ द करेक्ट चार्ट. द करेक्ट चार्ट वाज समथिंग लाइक दिस, एज इन ये जो यहाँ पे हैं ये ईयर्स लिखे हुए थे. सो 1947, 1960, 1980, 1990 and present. So if you look at the actual exchange rate, again please don't look at this line, I'm so sorry, this line is not the correct line. When you look at the actual exchange rate, it was in 1947 it was around 3.5 3.6 rupees. $1 की वैल्यू, $1 की वैल्यू 1947 लगभग 3.5 रुपए के आसपास थी. 3.5 4 5 6 till around 1967 के आसपास तक it was around 7 to 8 rupees. Then it increases a little bit because of 1971 में जो उन्होंने किया, क्या नाम है, रिचर्ड निक्सन ने किया, because of that it increases a little bit. Then still it remains within this very tight range, it remains somewhere around this. Then in 1993 जब हमने finally we moved to the exchange exchange system. Then in 1993, then it starts to go up. तो देखो अभी तक, again I'm sorry I couldn't show this line to you as I intended. This was mostly a flat line. ये मोस्टली एक फ्लैट लाइन थी, मीनिंग क्योंकि हमारा फिक्स एक्सचेंज सिस्टम था, हम डिटरमाइन खुद कर रहे थे. लेकिन 1990 के बाद से then we see that we have seen a rising exchange rate, as in American dollar becoming expensive. This is what a market-based exchange system is. Till this point, it was largely a fixed exchange system. ये slides जब upload हो जाएंगी, तो I'll make sure that the format there is correct. It's not getting displayed properly over here. So this is what a market-based exchange rate system is, right? I'll show the recent trends also. वहाँ पे मैंने images हैं, तो therefore I'll look at those trends. So presently, अगर हम आज का exchange rate देखें, तो आज का exchange rate लगभग this is day before yesterday's, I think. This is October's exchange rate 83.9. Today it is around 84.4 rupees. So $1 is equals to almost 84.4 rupees today. That is the present value of dollar. Now comes to the current affairs part, why we are here, as to what have been the factors that have driven dollar's value in recent past, right? So we look at those factors now.
Get ready to conquer UPSC Prelims 2025 with a strong hold over current affairs. Enroll for the PT 365 program, a 20-day course offering comprehensive coverage of 1-year current affairs in 60 hours. This meticulously designed curriculum features daily sessions on important subjects relevant to the prelims examination. Starting offline from 9th January at 5 p.m., the highlights include complete coverage of current affairs from sources such as The Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, Economic Times, Yojana among others. Flexibility of class timing with access to live online classes for distance learning students. Access to Sandhan, a personalized prelims test series. Personalized assessment and feedback. Doubt clearing sessions and mentoring. Get on board to succeed in prelims with excellence in current affairs.
This is last 20 years. You see this trend, this graph is basically $1 कितने का है. So $1 in last 20 years, 2004 के आसपास अगर देखो, तो it was around 40 rupees. Today it is around 84 rupees. So लगभग 100% डॉलर महंगा हो गया है. That has been dollar's value in last around 20 years. 20 साल के, ये लगभग 20 साल का चार्ट है डॉलर का. So from around 40, 38, 39, 40 in 2004 to around 84 rupees today. So this is what largely has been the value. Let the politicians fight about this aspect कि डॉलर हमारे टाइम में ज़्यादा महंगा हुआ, ज़्यादा सस्ता हुआ. Let's focus on the more important things over here. What have been the factors that have been driving dollar's value? Before we proceed further, current affairs की हम बात कर रहे हैं. I just want you to focus on this part over here. इस part पे मैं चाहता हूँ focus करो. Focus on this part. You see this? Oh. Yeah. Focus on this part. You see, यहाँ पे volatility ज़्यादा है या कम है? हाँ? ये part दिख रहा है? ये लगभग 2022 के बाद का part है, 2022 के बाद का. डॉलर की वैल्यू, $1's value, if you see in this last two odd years or so, you see that it has been in a very, very tight range, around 82 rupees to present 84 rupees के आसपास. So यहाँ पे volatility बहुत कम है. आगे बढ़ने से पहले I would want you to take a guess. Why do you think it is the case? Volatility अभी बताया. हाँ? RBI interventions. You see, in this period, you see that dollar's value is moving up and down. ये वैसे this one candle बोलते हैं इसको. This represents 1 month of value क्योंकि 20 साल का data है ये. You see, in this period, from this period to this period, you see dollar has been steadily climbing up. There has been a steady rise in value of dollar is becoming expensive. But now you see that in this period, it has been a very, very tight range. यहाँ पे बहुत ही tight range, 82.5 से 84.5 के बीच में है. Meaning dollar is not going up or down. That means one probable cause, we not discussed that cause, but one probable cause before we are looking at the causes is probably because of RBI's interventions. If RBI intervenes in the market, if it sees, अगर RBI को लगता है, देखो ये क्या हुआ, डॉलर महंगा हो गया, यहाँ पे डॉलर becomes expensive, price is a function of demand and supply. If demand of something exceeds its supply, what should happen to price? अगर डिमांड बढ़ती है सप्लाई से तो फिर प्राइस पे क्या फर्क पड़ना चाहिए? Increase. Price should increase. Dollar should become expensive. So if you see dollars becoming expensive, that means chances are demand of dollar is rising as compared to supply of dollars. और vice versa, यहाँ पे कम भी हो रहा है, जैसे supply of dollar probably would be greater than demand of dollar, that is leading to fall in price of dollar. Dollar's price is falling because supply would be more as compared to demand in this phase. Everybody is able to see this part? Demand, supply. Generally there would always be some shift in demand, some shift in supply. कभी डिमांड ज़्यादा होगी, जब किसी भी चीज़ की डिमांड बढ़ेगी प्राइस बढ़ना चाहिए. कभी सप्लाई कम, डिमांड कम भी हो सकती है, सप्लाई बढ़ सकती है. I mean these are dynamic things. Dynamic demand, supply is quite dynamic. Because they are dynamic, the prices would be dynamic. Importers start to demand more dollars because they have to pay more for crude oil. As a result, demand would increase and hence price of dollar becomes expensive because of that. Vice versa, let's say our exports are doing well. Germany's economy is growing fast, and because Germans are growing fast, they demand more of India's goods. As a result, India is exporting more. American economy is growing fast. Because American economy is growing fast, therefore they demand more of our goods and services, and therefore you are able to export to them. Because we export, hence supply of dollars is increasing in the country. हम export कर रहे हैं मतलब क्या है? हम उनको sell कर रहे हैं, वो हमसे खरीद रहे हैं. American जब purchase करेगा तो कौन सी currency में payment करेगा? डॉलर में पेमेंट करेगा. Because Americans are paying to us in dollars, meaning we are receiving dollars. There is more supply of dollars in the country. Because supply would be high. I'm just giving an example of how does price move. Because supply would be high, dollar should become cheaper in that case. The point being, demand, supply are quite dynamic. Because they are dynamic, as a result, price is dynamic. And you see in this portion, price is quite dynamic. Versus you see in this last 2-year portion, price is not that dynamic. Price is on the stable side, in a very tight range. डिमांड सप्लाई तो डायनेमिक रहेगी, लेकिन इफ देयर इज सम एक्सटर्नल इंटरवेंशन, अगर मार्केट में डॉलर की डिमांड बढ़ती है और आरबीआई उस डॉलर की डिमांड जो बढ़ी है उसको अपने रिजर्व से सप्लाई कर पाता है, इसका मतलब डॉलर का प्राइस नहीं बढ़ेगा ना. सिमिलरली अगर मार्केट में डॉलर की सप्लाई बढ़ती है एंड आरबीआई मार्केट में आगे डॉलर परचेज करने लग जाता है, इफ इट परचेजेस दैट मींस इवन दो सप्लाई इज इंक्रीजिंग, लेस वुड बी इफेक्टिवली अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट बिकॉज आरबीआई इज बाइंग. Because of that, RBI is trying to curb down demand or supply excesses, and hence price would be moving in a very tight range in that case. So you see that this is probably what is happening in this period, right? Now let's see specifically what is happening with dollar's price. This is last 20 years. This is post-COVID. What has happened to dollar's value after COVID? Let's see what have been the major factors. This is something that for you relevant for the exam point of view. क्या क्या फैक्टर्स हैं जो करेंसी के वैल्यू को इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं, एक्सचेंज रेट्स की वॉलेटिलिटी को इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं. एक सवाल पूछा गया था कि इनमें से क्या क्या, व्हाट ऑल फैक्टर्स विल कंट्रीब्यूट टू will reduce currency crisis in a currency crisis word इस्तेमाल किया गया, would reduce currency crisis in the country or would help the country get over any sort of currency crisis. So all these questions would be of the same nature. What all factors have been driving the value of Indian currency in recent past? We look at first this 4-year period as in post-COVID ka period, then we look at the recent period also, and then we look at more interesting insights into this part. So let's start from here. 2020 उससे पहले हमारी कुछ डॉलर की वैल्यू रही होगी. इधर देखो सब लोग, ये दिख रहा है नीचे वाला पार्ट. 2020 में before this portion, before this part that you see, this part, you see that dollar's value is around 71-72 rupees. ये कोविड से पहले की बात है, कोविड से पहले की बात. Now during COVID, now this is where you see 2020 यहाँ पे है और मार्च के आसपास देखो डॉलर की वैल्यू काफी बढ़ गई है. It's increasing rapidly. You see over here, dollar's value is rising during COVID crisis. Can you take a guess why would dollar's value rise during COVID crisis? हाँ, डॉलर क्यों महंगा होगा कोविड के दौरान? why would dollar become expensive? Ultimately dollar expensive कैसे होगा? जब डॉलर की डिमांड बढ़ेगी एज कंपेयर टू सप्लाई. हाँ, डॉलर महंगे होने का, सस्ते होने का एक ही कारण है, अल्टीमेटली डिमांड सप्लाई है. अल्टीमेटली इट्स डिमांड सप्लाई. So during COVID, you see that immediately, as in during this COVID time, you see that there is increased, that the dollar's value is increasing drastically. Because of COVID-1, there would be many monetary policy decisions that would be taking place. Central banks increase and decrease interest rates. Why do central banks increase interest rates? कब increase करते हैं? कब increase करते हैं interest rate? कब क्यों करते हैं इंक्रीज इंटरेस्ट रेट? इन्फ्लेशन जब ज्यादा होती है तो टू टारगेट इन्फ्लेशन दे इंक्रीज इंटरेस्ट रेट्स. व्हाई डू दे रिड्यूस इंटरेस्ट रेट्स? इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ को फैसिलिटेट करने के लिए. सो व्हेन सेंट्रल बैंक्स, नाउ दिस इज policy making is all about trade-offs. There are trade-offs in inflation targeting and in growth enhancing. You increase interest rates. Why do you do that? Because you want to fight inflation. Inflation is high, therefore you increase interest rates. But increasing interest rates, that is reducing money supply, increasing interest rates also has negative consequences for growth. People will be able to not able to borrow, the borrowing cost will increase, hence they will not be able to spend. Growth also suffers because of that. So high interest rates to curb inflation, but high interest rates also curb growth simultaneously. Then central banks reduce interest rates. Why do they reduce interest rate? They reduce because if they see that growth is less, अगर इकोनॉमी रिसेशन में जा रही है तो सेंट्रल बैंक्स ग्रोथ इंटरेस्ट रेट्स को कम करते हैं, इंटरेस्ट रेट्स कम करते हैं, एंड हेंस दे ट्राई टू induce spending in the economy, induce borrowing, induce spending. Economy should be able to grow. For that, central banks reduce interest rates. During COVID, what will happen to economic growth? Economic growth पे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? Would be low. Central banks across the world would lower interest rates or not? Because central banks across the world lower interest rates. American central banks lower interest rates even further. They lower interest rates. Hence, now think of some foreign investor. Foreign investor is seeing, I have money with me. I have to invest this money somewhere. I have possibilities of investing money in India, in China, in Vietnam, in Japan, in Europe, in America. Everybody is reducing their interest rates. One, American central bank reduced interest rates by the most, let's say, first. And therefore, the expectation of growth, expectation, होगी कि नहीं होगी बात की बात है, expectation of growth would be there that American economy is going to grow. One. On top of it, there is huge uncertainty also or not? एक नया factor है uncertainty. Uncertainty है कितना लंबा कोविड चलेगा, ग्रोथ पे क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा इसकी, तो इंडिया कोविड को सह पाएगा भी कि नहीं पाएगा, चाइना सह पाएगा कि नहीं पाएगा. There is huge uncertainty, and when there is uncertainty, people would move to risky assets or safe assets. When there is uncertainty, we will move to safe asset. Why? Because I may end up gaining a lot, I may end up losing a lot. People would prefer to go to safe assets, safe havens. American economy becoming that safe haven at that time. As in American economy, reduce interest rates, are trying to poke in more and more consumption by reducing interest rate. Plus on top of that, there is uncertainty across the world. Hence, lot of people would withdraw their investments from India, from Vietnam, and would move them to America. And as a result of that, demand of dollars in India is going to increase or not? Foreigners are going to sell. Because they sell, they would want to take out the dollars from India. They take out the dollars. India में डॉलर की डिमांड बढ़ेगी. जब डॉलर की डिमांड बढ़ेगी तो डॉलर का प्राइस भी बढ़ेगा कि नहीं? So you see a rise in price. ये पोस्ट कोविड वाला पार्ट है. Then gradually, let's say next 5-6 months, you see a decline over here also or not? There's a decline. In next 5-6 months, now there is less uncertainty. एक तो इमीडिएट अनसर्टेनिटी हुई कोविड वाली, मार्च 23 वाली मान लेते हैं अनसर्टेनिटी है, एंड देन देयर इज ओवर नेक्स्ट 5-6 मंथ्स इट्स पीपल कम टू रियलाइज यार ठीक है इतना भी वो खराब चीज नहीं है, हो सकता है हम इससे उभर जाएंगे. द पॉलिसी मेजर्स हैव बीन एडिक्वेट एंड द थ्रेट, even though it's a big threat, but we have been able to, let's say, carefully handle that threat. And therefore, then what will happen, let's say post July or August or September, after that, now it's more of a risk off phase and now a risk on phase. As in uncertainties are reducing. Now I would like to take risks, maybe invest money in emerging market economies because I see a higher potential of returns over there. That means maybe foreigners start investing in the country. They start bringing their money into the country. They start bringing their money. As a result, supply of dollars in India increases. Supply increases, and as a result, dollar becomes cheaper. So you see dollars cheapening over here. Then what do you see? What is the next period? So till this point of time, dollar supply is increasing and dollar becomes range bound. It's as an increasing, decreasing, normal course of action, supply demand. And then there's a major increase happening over here. What is happening over here? Ukraine, February 2022. You see Ukraine-Russia conflict. Because of Ukraine-Russia conflict, again, what happens to uncertainties in the world now? Again, uncertainties increase. Whenever understand this word uncertainty. Forget about growth, inflation, interest rates. Think about the word uncertainty only. Whenever uncertainties are rising, everybody would want to move to the safe asset. And the safest asset being American government bonds, for example. Whenever uncertainties rise, there would be other factors, there are other factors, but uncertainty becomes a very important factor. Whenever there is a large uncertainty in minds of investors, where should I invest my money? Most of them would prefer to move the money back to America rather than investing in India. Some part of their money may remain invested in India. भाई जैसे मेरे पास मान लो 1 लाख रुपए हैं, 1 लाख रुपए हैं, मैं चाहता हूँ कि भाई 1 लाख रुपए के मेरे को काफी रिटर्न मिले, लेकिन मैं ऐसा तो नहीं पूरा 1 लाख रुपए का बिटकॉइन खरीद लूंगा, जीरो भी हो सकता है वो सारा पैसा. I would like to hedge my risk. I would like to maintain some sort of a risk profile. Some assets expected to give good return, some assets expected to give a safe return, decent return. Not so high, but decent return. But if there is huge risk, जो risky वाले assets हैं वो काफी risky हो गए हैं, तो मैं क्या करूँगा? उन risky assets से पैसा निकाल के safe assets के अंदर ज़्यादा डालूंगा ना अपने पैसे को. That is what is happening, uncertainty. So during Russia-Ukraine war, again you see that there is uncertainty that is rising. Rest of the economies, everybody would like to make every investor would like to park their money in more secure assets, which is American government bonds, right? So you see American government bonds, as in post-Ukraine uncertainty, return to less risky asset class, that is American government. Then you see this continuing trend for a very long period. अगर आप यहाँ पे देखो रशिया यूक्रेन के वॉर के आसपास, you see that the value is around 74-75 के आसपास. But then you see it does not stop almost till this point. It reaches around 83. तो 74 से 83 रुपीज ये एकदम से लगभग एक जंप में जा रहा है, as in non-stop जा रहा है. It's not spending some time. It's not spending some time in some range. It is continuing to go up. One would be this. And then would come the more negative effects of this. Russia attacks Ukraine. Because of that, what happens to inflation across the world? One, because of COVID, there was huge money supply in the economies. Everybody had reduced interest rates. तो कोविड के बाद सब लोग पैसा प्रिंट कर रहे थे. There was zero interest rate. There was very expansive monetary policy. तो already पैसा तो बहुत सारा था economies के अंदर. One, excess money supply causing inflation. First. Second, on top of excess money supply, you have disruption of global supply chain over here. तो मनी सप्लाई डिमांड साइड फैक्टर भी इन्फ्लेशनरी हो गया, और यहाँ पे सप्लाई साइड फैक्टर बिकॉज ऑफ डिसरप्शन सप्लाई चेन ये भी इन्फ्लेशनरी हो गया. सो नाउ एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट एवरी इकोनॉमी इन द वर्ल्ड इज गोइंग टू विटनेस हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन और नॉट. एंड अमेरिकन्स आर नॉट डिफरेंट, दे विटनेस हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन. एवरीबडी इज विटनेसिंग हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन because Americans are witnessing high inflation. Therefore, what will American Central Bank do now? American Central Bank is going to tighten the money supply, are going to reduce interest rates or increase interest rates or not. So from low interest rates, Americans will now start to increase interest rates post Ukraine crisis. So now central banks across the world 2022, every central bank, not just America, every central bank is tightening interest rates, tightening money supply, meaning increasing interest rates. When central banks increase interest rates, why are they doing that? They are doing that for curbing inflation. ये बात सबको समझ में आ रही है? When American Central Bank increases interest rates, compare two assets now. Again, as an investor, compare two assets. One asset is Indian government bond. इंडिया के अंदर जो रिस्क फ्री एसेट है, मतलब जो इंडिया के अंदर पैसा इन्वेस्ट करोगे तो रिस्क फ्री रिटर्न कितना मिलता है, ये हो गया इंडियन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड की जीडी. इंडियन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड इज गिविंग लेट्स से 6%. let's say I am an alien standing in Mauritius and I have some money with me and I have to invest that money. I see that there are two options to invest that money. I see that I can invest in American markets. American गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड में पैसा इन्वेस्ट कर सकता हूं जो कि मेरे को 4.5% इंटरेस्ट दे रहा है, वैसे 5.5 दे रहा है क्योंकि सेंट्रल बैंक ने इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज कर दी है. अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड 5% इंटरेस्ट दे रहा है और इंडियन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड 6% इंटरेस्ट दे रहा है. अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड 5% दे रहा है, इंडियन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड 6% इंटरेस्ट दे रहा है. वेयर वुड आई इन्वेस्ट मनी? अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट और इंडियन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड. There are two options in front of you. I am standing and government of India is standing. I offer 10% interest. मैं बोल रहा हूँ मेरे को लोन दे दो, मैं आपको 10% इंटरेस्ट दूंगा, और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया बोल रही है हमको लोन दे दो, हम हमको 10% इंटरेस्ट देंगे. आप किसको लोन देने वाले हो? गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को या मेरे को? गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को. क्यों? क्योंकि रिस्क कम है. रिस्क एडजस्टेड रिटर्न. I will have to offer something higher to you for you to be attracted to give a loan to me. If I give 11 versus government of India gives 10, to whom will you give loan? Still to government of India. If I offer 13 and government of India gives 10, to whom will you give loan? Still probably government of India. For me to, अब समझ में आ रही बात? Relative difference, or what we call as basically risk adjusted return. For me to become attractive, or for that matter Pakistan government, Indian government offers you, let's say today, real case scenario, Indian government gives you a 6.5% return and Pakistan government, let's say there is no restriction of investment, Pakistan government आपको 20% दे रही है. आप क्या पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट को लोन दोगे? There is virtually zero probability that they are going to return money. For them to attract money from you, they will have to offer a very very high rate of interest. तब जाके आपका कुछ मन बनेगा, हाँ इनको जो है हम लोन देते हैं, इनको पैसा देते हैं. So it's not just about the interest rate that is being offered, it is about risk that is coming along with that interest rate. You would want more risk adjusted returns, not merely more returns. American government versus Indian government. American government का risk relatively speaking बहुत कम है as compared to Indian government. American government is offering let's say 5% returns and Indian government on the other hand is giving you let's say 7% return. Still रिस्क एडजस्टेड अगर देखा जाए तो अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट बहुत ज्यादा फेवर में है. फर्दर ये केवल रिस्क की बात ही नहीं है. इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का बॉन्ड कौन सी करेंसी में है? रुपी में. अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट का बॉन्ड कौन सी करेंसी में है? डॉलर में है. तो एक तो हो गया इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का रिस्क और अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट का रिस्क, लेकिन साथ साथ करेंसी रिस्क भी है कि नहीं है? एक्सचेंज रेट रिस्क. फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर हैज $1 with him. He converts $1 into 100 rupees. Let's take that as the exchange rate. He converts $1 to 100 rupees and from 100 rupees buys Indian government bond. Indian government bond has given him 6% return. American government वाला 5 दे रहा था, इंडिया वाले ने 8% दे दिया मान लेते हैं. इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने 8% रिटर्न दिया तो उसके 100 के हो गए 108. Now he has 108 rupees. But during this time period, dollar has increased in value. डॉलर की वैल्यू जो $1 100 रुपए का था, अब $1 जो है 108 रुपए का है फॉर एग्जाम्पल. तो इसका मतलब अब आप पूरे 108 जो आपने कमाए हैं वो सेल करोगे तब जाके आपको $1 मिलेगा. मतलब $1 के बदले कितना मिला आपको? अभी भी $1 मिला कि नहीं? सो इन रुपी टर्म्स यू माइट हैव अर्नड 8%, बट इन डॉलर टर्म द करेंसी दैट यू हैड, यू आर स्टिल अर्निंग 0% इंटरेस्ट. दैट मीन्स इट्स स्टिल वेरी वेरी ल्यूक्रेटिव टू बाय अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड और इंडियन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड. American government bond. So Indian government, Indian central bank has increased their interest rates. American central banks increase their interest rates, but American central bank is on a tightening spree. They're increasing interest rates like there is no tomorrow. There is very, in fact, they should because inflation was quite high. India में inflation इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं थी. In fact, normally अमेरिका में normal का मतलब पिछले 15 साल में post 2007 crisis के बाद, 2007 के बाद अमेरिका में normally inflation रही है between 1 to 2%. इंडिया में इन्फ्लेशन रहती है लगभग 4 से 6%. और कोविड के बाद अमेरिका में इन्फ्लेशन कितनी हुई? 9.1% टू बी एट द हाईएस्ट पॉइंट. इंडिया में कितनी हुई? 8.2%. वी वर अ वेरी 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 वेल मैनेज्ड इकोनॉमी पोस्ट कोविड, ड्यूरिंग कोविड, पोस्ट कोविड, एज कंपेयर टू अमेरिकन्स हु कीप ऑन लेक्चरिंग अस एवरी टाइम. द पीक इन्फ्लेशन दैट दे विटनेस्ड वर्सेस व्हाट वी विटनेस्ड, our inflation was not even twice what we normally witness. Some might call it hyper, others will prefer not to call it hyper. But American inflation 100% hyper. From 2% normal to 9.1% at the peak, it's very, very high inflation. That means they will have to tighten interest rates. So American economy, American central bank tightens interest rate from around 0.25% to around 5.5%, 5.25%. So they tighten their interest rates quite a bit. And because they are tightening interest rates, therefore, again, American investments would now look relatively more attractive as compared to Indian. That means, again, it creates more outflow of money from India. See, there is a churning always happening. At some point there is more outflows because risk on period यहाँ पे ज़्यादा foreigners invest कर रहे हैं, but जैसे ही उनको लगेगा कि अब risk off है, American ज़्यादा attractive हो रहा है, अब कई सारे लोग withdraw करने लगे, कई सारे लोग लेके भी आए हैं इस period के अंदर. You see this period, many people are investing because they see Indian economy is going to do well in this period, post-COVID stability period. But then during this period, post-Ukraine, now when you see high inflation in America, American central bank raises interest rates, results in many foreigners then withdrawing money from India. And as a result, because they're withdrawing money, what happens to dollar's value? Dollar becomes expensive again. So now you see dollar becoming expensive. And in fact, since this time period, अगर आप देखो तो यहाँ पे कितनी वैल्यू, यहाँ पे 83 रुपीस के आसपास तक पहुंच गया, 82.5 के आसपास पहुंच गया. अब यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक आप देखो, it has been this very tight range. Is this clear? Now we'll see recent. अब recently क्या क्या चीजें डॉलर की वैल्यू को ड्राइव करी हैं. So this is post-Ukraine uncertainty. Then you have increasing American inflation, better results on American government bonds, American treasury bills. During this phase, you again see जैसे यहाँ पे कम हो रहा है, decline हो रहा है. Again, why is it not rising much? Further again, there is still again यहाँ तक increase हो गया. Then emerging market economies like India, they show better prospects. They can offer better returns on the investments. Hence, as a result, there are reducing uncertainties. Dollar returns back to emerging market economies. तो यहाँ पे uncertainty. जब uncertainty ज़्यादा है, dollar goes out. जब कम है, dollar comes in again. जब uncertainty ज़्यादा है, dollar goes out, dollar becomes expensive. जब uncertainty, then on top of that, there is increasing interest rate, it becomes even more expensive. Then after that, when uncertainty is reduced, then dollar is coming back to the country because uncertainty is reducing. Then again, we witness more stability. Clear है? सबको समझ में आ रहा है? In this phase, you see, अब यहाँ पे क्या है? यहाँ पे there is very high uncertainty. Even though you don't see the movement of graph, we'll discuss as in अब हम 2024 का देखेंगे. इस पीरियड को हम एक्सपैंड करके, इसको हम जूम करके देखेंगे यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है. So अब जो नेक्स्ट चार्ट आएगा वहां पे हम केवल इसी पार्ट को एक्सपैंड करेंगे. फॉर दैट दिस मस्ट बी क्लियर इन योर माइंड दैट ओवर ऑन अ ब्रॉडर बेसिस कोई बहुत ज्यादा कुछ हुआ नहीं है. On a broader basis, when you see, it is hardly 82 to 84. But अब हम जब इसको expand करेंगे, then again the scale would look very wide. So please keep this thing in mind. Now during this phase that you see over here, during this phase, now there is actually high uncertainty about something else, which is one geopolitical event that have taken place, conflict in Middle East. But more than that, there is uncertainty about interest rates in America. Interest rates in US. हमने बात करी interest rates in US के बारे में. यहाँ पे बात करी, यहाँ पे बात करी, यहाँ पे बात करी. Here there is uncertainty about interest rates in USA. Understand this uncertainty wala portion, and then we'll understand what is happening to understand what is happening today with respect to American dollar and rupees. Understand the uncertainty in interest rates portion. America, इधर देखो सब लोग. America has high inflation in this period. Very high inflation, and to fight high inflation, what do? They increase interest rates. American central bank. So American central bank जब interest rates increase करेगा, what will that lead to? Growth in the American economy. How will growth be impacted? जब central bank interest rates increase करेगा, तो American economy में growth पे क्या impact होगा? हाँ? Growth पे क्या impact? जब interest rates बढ़ाते हैं, तो growth पे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? Growth slow down हो जाएगी, so growth is going to slow down. So inflation is very high in this period. Everyone see here, inflation is quite high in this period. To fight inflation, you are increasing interest rates, but increase in interest rates continuously and keeping them at a very high level, what is that causing? That is causing slowing down of American economy. And because American economy is slowing, unemployment in America is rising. That means there would be expectation of rate cuts by Federal Reserve or not. So there is now an expectation that Federal Reserve is going to cut interest rates. However, अगर inflation कम नहीं आई अभी तक तो क्या फेडरल रिजर्व इंटरेस्ट रेट कम कर सकता है? अगर इन्फ्लेशन कम ही नहीं हुई है, जो आपका पर्पस था इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ाने का, इफ देयर इज नो रिडक्शन ऑन द इन्फ्लेशन फ्रंट, दैट मींस इवन दो यू वांट टू रिड्यूस इंटरेस्ट रेट्स, यू कांट रिड्यूस इंटरेस्ट रेट्स. वी आर इन दैट यूनिक सिचुएशन ऑफ व्हाट वी कॉल दैट एज stagflation. There is stagnation of economic growth and there is along with that a very high inflation. So American economy is reaching stagflationary position over here. You want to reduce interest rates because growth is very slow. You can't reduce interest rates because reducing them will lead to high inflation again. So there is now a high uncertainty. There is policy uncertainty during stagflationary time. There is uncertainty regarding whether central bank would or would it not reduce interest rates. अगर reduce करता है तो इसका क्या implication होगा, अगर नहीं करता है तो क्या implication होगा. Point is अब 50 explanations आएंगी. इंक्रीज करे तो भी अच्छा, नहीं इंक्रीज करे तो भी अच्छा, इंक्रीज करे तो भी खराब, नहीं इंक्रीज करे तब भी खराब. नाउ देयर विल अनसर्टेनिटी. अंडरस्टैंड दिस अनसर्टेन टाइम. अनसर्टेनिटी बात समझ में आ रही है? देयर इज गोइंग टू बी ह्यूज अनसर्टेनिटी ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड बिकॉज ऑफ stagflation going on in American economy. Some might argue that it's not stagflation, American economy is still growing, but at the end of the day you have persistently high inflation, you have low growth, rising unemployment, so this is nothing but stagflation. So during these uncertain times, now there is going to be huge volatility in value of rupee or not, क्योंकि uncertainty ज़्यादा है, and because there is going to be huge volatility, who will be responsible to intervene? RBI. RBI will now start increased interventions in the market, not because it intervenes more, therefore you see this tight range. Why this tight range? Because in this range there is high intervention by RBI. Why high intervention? Because of increased volatility, because of high uncertainty. What will the American Central Bank do? There are speculators bidding on this thing कि अमेरिकन सेंट्रल बैंक इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ाएगा, उससे ये फर्क पड़ेगा, कम करेगा उससे ये फर्क पड़ेगा, and because of that the rupee is moving highly volatile, and to curb that volatility you have central bank that is intervening in the market, buying and selling as and when required. Hence you see this to be in a very tight range. Clear है? ठीक है. Now we look at what happens at present. 2024. अब ये 2024 का है. As I said, अब देखो ये जो y एक्सेस है, ग्राफ उतना बड़ा लग रहा है लेकिन ये 82.5 से शुरू होकर 84.4 तक जा रहा है यहाँ पे. सो इट इज अ वेरी वेरी, केवल ये 2 रुपए की रेंज है यहाँ से यहाँ तक जो लिखा है y एक्सेस. दिस बिग चार्ट दैट यू सी, दिस इज अ 2 रुपीज रेंज ओवर हियर. The first increase over here, again this is in a very tight range. I have zoomed it a lot so that you are able to see this thing. The first increase in dollars value is because of anticipation of interest rates from Federal Reserve. Because you anticipate them to increase interest rates. Anticipation, not actual increase, anticipation. Now we are going into domain of behavioral economics. Before I talk about this, just a few words about behavioral part. Cause, effect, effect, cause. पहले मुर्गी है या अंडा है, ये सवाल है, इनका कोई उत्तर है नहीं, इन सवालों का कोई उत्तर होना भी नहीं. दिस सिंपली फॉर अवर कॉन्टेम्पलेशन. लाइफ का क्या मतलब है, ये इस अच्छी लाइफ का क्या मतलब है. These questions are there, these are abstract questions meant only for us to just ponder upon these things, that whether I am living some good life that according to me is good or not, according to somebody else according to me is good or not. ये abstract questions है. If I know, not with certainty, but I expect with high probability. अगर आज मुझे पता है कि आगे कुछ इवेंट हो सकता है जिसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी ज्यादा, होगा कि नहीं होगा, कब होगा, आई एम नॉट सो श्योर, बट आई हैव अ रीजनेबल बिलीव दैट दिस इज गोइंग टू हैपन बाय दिस टाइम. Will I wait for that thing to happen or will I take action today itself? Will I wait for that thing to actually happen or will I take action today itself? I'm going to take action today itself in anticipation of that high probability event. Right? Behavior, it's not something actual that is going to drive the market, rather it is more about expectations that are going to drive the market in future. I believe something can happen and hence I take steps today. In around April, Federal Reserve, now there is almost a given, there is almost a given that Federal Reserve is going to increase interest, is going to reduce interest rates. Why? Because one, inflation as has been measured by them, that is coming down. तो इसका मतलब जो हाई इंटरेस्ट पॉलिसी थी वो लग रहा है कि अब काम करे कि नहीं करे वो बात दूसरी है. यू कैन हैव अ डिबेट ऑल डे राउंड कि वो नंबर ठीक है, मैट्रिक सही है, मेजर सही करते हैं कि नहीं करते हैं, नंबर्स कितने फज करते हैं, वो उसका डिबेट का कोई अंत नहीं है. As it seems that high interest rates are starting to pay off the dividend in form of falling inflation numbers. One. Second, on top of that, सुनना ध्यान से सुनना. On top of that, if let's say in the month of April, just example के तौर पे सुनना इसी, अप्रैल के महीने में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट डेटा निकल के आता है और अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट डेटा से आपको पता चलता है कि अमेरिका में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ गया है. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट डेटा निकल के आया और पता चला अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ गया. तो डिस्क्राइब द करंट स्टेट ऑफ इकोनॉमी, गुड और बैड. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इज हाई इन अमेरिकन इकोनॉमी, तो अमेरिकन इकोनॉमी की करंट स्टेट क्या है, बैड है कि नहीं है? देयर इज हाई अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट. बट अंडरस्टैंड हाउ डज दिस एक्सपेक्टेशन ड्राइव्स द मार्केट. बिकॉज अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट टुडे इज हाई, therefore what will market expect, that what will Federal Reserve do in future? They are going to take growth enhancing policies. So आज भले ही ग्रोथ कम होगी, आज भले ही इकोनॉमी में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट ज्यादा है, लेकिन आज एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या बन गई है उसकी वजह से? Expectation is that now there is going to be greater pressure on Federal Reserve to cut down interest rates, and hence now we anticipate they will take some action resulting in growth enhancing in future. Today it's less, but it is expected to be higher in future because I expect them to reduce interest rates in future. Anticipation. It's not something that is happening right now, but I'm anticipating is a high probability event that is going to happen now. So as a result of this anticipation, now you see interest rates, they have not increased here. In March, interest rate they have not reduced. March में interest rate कम नहीं हुए हैं, लेकिन मार्च में anticipation आ गया है कि हाँ अब तो interest rate कम होने ही होने हैं. And as a result, as a result, you see dollar becoming expensive because people expect interest rate कम होंगे, मतलब अमेरिकन इकोनॉमी वापस back on track आएगी. Then they still remain in this range. Then you see they still एक लेवल इंक्रीज हो गया, उसके बाद फिर एक रेंज के अंदर है. Actual increase in interest rates. Actual happens somewhere over here around September. Actual increase in interest rates. August में the Federal Reserve chair, he gave a speech at a Jackson Hole symposium and where he said that yes, we are going to reduce interest rates. So even though interest rates कम नहीं किए थे, लेकिन the communication was that we are going to reduce interest rate, तो मतलब मार्केट ने प्राइस कर लिया अब इंटरेस्ट रेट कम होने ही होने हैं. अब फिर मार्केट में इसी पे स्पेकुलेशन चल रहा है कि इंटरेस्ट रेट कितने कम होंगे, कितनी बार कम होंगे, 0.5 होगा, 0.25 कम होगा, 1 परसेंटेज पॉइंट से कम होगा, कितना कम होगा, अभी चीज के ऊपर स्पेकुलेशन चल रहा है. Final interest rates increase somewhere around here in the month of September. I think 1st, 2nd September के आसपास interest rate increase हुए. So this is what lead to again dollar becoming expensive. And this most recent, why we are here as and why this is a current affairs topic, this most recent increase, जो finally रुपी जो है 84 level से ऊपर जाके गया है, जो अभी 84.5 के आसपास है. Donald Trump is back. Because Donald is back, therefore what do you expect is going to happen to American markets? Expectation होगा कि नहीं होगा नहीं पता है. Expectation is that Donald Trump is going to increase tariffs. Because he is going to increase tariffs, therefore what is the expectation about American producers? अगर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप अमेरिका में टैरिफ बढ़ाते हैं, मतलब इंपोर्ट्स महंगे होते हैं, तो अमेरिकन कंपनी को प्रोडक्शन करने में और इंसेंटिव मिलेगा. बिकॉज अमेरिकन कंपनी आर गोइंग टू प्रोड्यूस मोर प्रॉफिटेबल, एज अ रिजल्ट दे आर गोइंग टू अर्न मोर प्रॉफिट्स. अमेरिकन मार्केट्स आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू गिव बेटर रिटर्न्स बिकॉज अमेरिकन मार्केट्स आर एक्सपेक्टेड, दे हैव नॉट येट गिवन, expected to give better returns. What will happen to dollar inflow into America or outflow from India or China or Vietnam? Foreign investors are going to pull out their money from India and then invest the money back in America. Now why? Because they expect this to happen. Expectation. So this becomes the recent driver of foreign exchange, the forex value today. Is it clear? So dollar becomes expensive on top of, because of these uncertainty, because of these news, because of federal interest rate decisions, differential interest rate with respect to RBI. So ये सारे factors हैं जो कि interest rates, जो कि डॉलर की वैल्यू को रूपी डॉलर एक्सचेंज रेट को इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहे हैं. आर यू एबल टू विजुअलाइज ऑल दीज फैक्टर्स नाउ, राइट? आर यू एबल टू सी दोस थिंग्स? कहां पे? I'm so sorry. Yes, it should be decrease. I'm so sorry. Decrease in interest rate by US Fed. Decrease in interest. I'm so sorry. Yes, it should be decrease. I'll correct this thing. Decrease in interest rate by US Fed. More importantly, anticipation of interest rate hike, decrease in interest rate. Yes, it's not hike, it's reduction of interest rate. Yes. Also, more important thing that you should witness here is इंटरेस्ट रेट डिक्रीज हो रहा है या एंटिसिपेशन है डिक्रीज की, डॉलर महंगा हो रहा है. इंटरेस्ट रेट डिक्रीज हो रहा था, डॉलर महंगा हो रहा था. इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज हो रहा था, डॉलर महंगा हो रहा था. ये बात समझ में आई है? तो ज्ञानी लोग क्या करते हैं? ज्ञानी लोग बोलते हैं अपनी एक्सप्लेनेशन को चेंज करते हैं इन अकॉर्डेंस विद व्हाटएवर द करंट सिचुएशन इज. नाउ यू आर मोर अवेयर नाउ. Uncertainties. It's not about interest rates increasing or decreasing. It is more about differential interest rates. India's interest rate, America's interest rate, number one. Second, it is about uncertainties. If there are more uncertainties, entities would move to more safe harbor, that is American government bonds or American equities. If there is anticipation of more American growth, relative American growth is going to be more as compared to India, there is going to be movement back into America. So it doesn't matter where interest rates are increasing, decreasing, all these things will have effects in one or the other ways. इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ने के बाद कोई एक एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रहा है, कम होने के बाद दूसरी एक्सप्लेनेशन आप दे रहे हो, क्योंकि आपका जो मेट्रिक है टू गिव explanation, that is wrong. You're simply looking at interest rate बढ़ जाएगा तो ऐसा हो गया. You have to look at these things in totality. You have to look at differential interest rates. You have to look at, is market anticipating that interest rate increase or not. You have to see that whether Indian equities, Indian government bonds, risk-free interest, whether that is more attractive, exchange rate risk is there or not. You have to look at all these things together and then see what is happening to rupees value, dollars value vis-a-vis rupees. ठीक है? बात सबको समझ में आई है? So this is dollars value. This is what has been dollars movement in recent past. Versus what did our finance minister say recently? She said this thing last year also, last year, and she said that it's not that rupee is becoming cheaper, it is that dollar is becoming expensive. Not, she was 100% right in the statement. She's absolutely right. Might not be politically or might not be right for the masses, but she's technically 100% right. Dollar is becoming expensive, but rupee is not becoming cheaper. This is something called as dollar index. ये dollar index का chart है. Dollar index basically is measuring strength of dollars against other currencies, basket of currencies, not just Indian currency, Chinese, Japanese, European, pound sterling, Argentinian, ये सारी basket of currencies के against dollar की strength ये measure कर रहा है. So if it is, let's say it is at 100, that means dollar is at certain value जो base year में थी. अगर वो उससे बढ़ जाता है तो फिर उस base के comparison डॉलर और महंगा हो गया. उससे कम होता है तो base के comparison डॉलर सस्ता हो गया है. This is 2022 post Russia Ukraine, then tightening. जैसे हमारे यहाँ डॉलर महंगा हो रहा था, पूरी दुनिया भर में डॉलर महंगा हो रहा है. Then उसके बाद more stability जैसे हमने अचीव करी, and then again it is increasing. You see, जैसे हमारा exchange rate as in डॉलर हमारे अगेंस्ट महंगा हो रहा है, you see it is happening for everybody else also. Yes, there would be individual performances. Chinese currency किसी और तरीके से behave करेगी, Indian किसी और तरीके से. Other every country would have a specific demand supply of dollars in their own currencies. But yes, overall when you see, this has been movement of dollars, and India's currency movement has not been very different as compared to other currencies movement. In fact, अगर आप compare करते हो, what about Euro and INR? You see that in this period, Euro kept on becoming cheaper. Euro is becoming cheaper, then Euro becomes expensive. This is September 2022, जब European Union ने भी अपने interest rates को increase करना start किया. So then Euro becomes expensive. Then it's in this range. Do you see what is happening? डॉलर के रिस्पेक्ट में डॉलर तो हमारा महंगा होता जा रहा था. 2024 में देखो, खास करके लास्ट 5-6 महीने के अंदर यूरो तो सस्ता होता चला जा रहा है. Dollar was becoming expensive, euro is becoming cheaper. So Indian currency might be weakening against dollar, dollar might be becoming expensive, but euro is becoming cheaper. What about JPY, Japanese yen? You see the overall trend over here. That has become, Japanese yen has become much cheaper as compared to itself earlier. What about Chinese currency? It has been largely in this range only. ना Chinese currency महंगी और सस्ती हुई है. अगर बहुत ही recent देख रहे हैं तो बहुत recent में तो थोड़ी सस्ती हो रही है. But yes, largely when you see, it has been in this broad range. So when you look at rupees value with respect to dollar, you can't merely look at rupees value. You have to look at dollar as a whole and performance of other currencies with respect to the dollar. This is from latest RBI bulletin. अभी 4-5 दिन पहले ही पब्लिश हुआ है. So in that RBI bulletin, अब तुमको नहीं पढ़ना है जाके ये चीजें, बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स चीजें होती हैं. And मैं भी नहीं, मैं भी नहीं पढ़ता इन चीजों को. But yes, some charts for your reference. I will include these charts. This is dollar's value, and these squarish, these rhombus that you see over here, that is depicting volatility. And this blue bar that you see here, that is representing percentage change. तो आप देखो डॉलर के रिस्पेक्ट में साउथ अफ्रीकन रैंड that has gained a little bit, बहुत थोड़ा सा. Chinese yuan that has fallen, Indian rupee that has fallen. You see all these currencies. Russian ruble has fallen the most, Japanese yen second most, Philippines peso, Argentinian peso. ये सारी currencies decline कर रही हैं डॉलर के रिस्पेक्ट में. ये सारी currency डॉलर के रिस्पेक्ट में सस्ती होती चली जा रही है, मतलब डॉलर महंगा होता चला जा रहा है. You see India's performance over here. Only 2 currencies perform better than India: Chinese yuan and South African rand. And that is to within, as in that is to October 2024 over September 2024. Last 2 महीने के अंदर, 3 महीने के अंदर. When you look at performance before that, India's performance on an overall basis has been even better than the Chinese yuan also. Get the point? So it's not about merely dollar becoming expensive, it is about dollar's strength vis-a-vis basket of currencies. Yes, rupee has weakened against dollars, no doubt about that. But it's dollar that has been strengthening more as compared to rupee weakening against dollar. Clear? These are some monthly changes. Again, you can have a look at this. We'll talk about need and read in a moment. Sorry, yeah. Before we talk about the concluding remarks, as in what has been the fair value with respect to need and read, just one aspect about the benefits or losses, the challenges, opportunities with respect to exchange rates. I think that it should be obviously clear to you. When dollar becomes expensive, अगर dollar महंगा होता है versus जब dollar सस्ता होता है, when dollar becomes expensive, some things in India would benefit, some things would lose out. If dollar becomes expensive, एक डॉलर पहले 50 रुपए का था, एक डॉलर अब 100 रुपए का हो गया. डॉलर एक्सपेंसिव समझ में आ गया है. आईफोन की कीमत $1000 है. जब पहले एक डॉलर 50 रुपए का था, one iPhone used to cost 50,000 rupees. Now it costs, same iPhone costs 1 lakh rupees. That means imports have become expensive or not? So when dollar becomes expensive, imports become expensive. Because imports become expensive, therefore we lose out in those parts where we are import dependent or not. So जहाँ पे हम import dependent हैं, वहाँ पे हमको नुकसान होगा. डॉलर के weakening से, डॉलर के strengthening से, डॉलर के expensive होने से, our imports would suffer, they would become costly. What about exports? Let's say we were producing this shirt, selling this shirt. Indian producer ने shirt 1000 रुपए की produce करी, 1000 rupees. When $1 was 50 rupees, जब एक डॉलर 50 रुपए का था, तो what was the price of this 1000 rupee shirt in dollar terms? 1000 रुपए की शर्ट डॉलर में कितने की बिकती? $20 की. 1000 upon 50, $20. So $20 would have been the price of this shirt in dollar terms. Versus when $1 is 100 rupees. अभी भी cost तो 1000 रुपए की आ रही है बनाने की. What will be the dollar value of this shirt now? $10, 1000 upon 100. That means हमारे जो exports हैं वो सस्ते हो जाएंगे कि नहीं हो जाएंगे? और exports become cheaper. That means export oriented sectors are going to benefit or not? We will be able to export more. हमको क्या करना, कितना डॉलर आ रहा है, हमारे को तो रुपीस से मतलब है. So our export, ऐसा नहीं है कि हमको क्या करना डॉलर कितना आ रहा है, but still our as an exporter I'm going to benefit because of that. Why? Because I can sell more goods, because my cost is still 1000 rupees, but the price that the foreigner is paying is now $10. As a result, I expect to export more. So when dollar strengthens, when rupee depreciates or dollar becomes expensive, generally what do we expect? We expect that our import oriented sectors, they are going to lose out because imports become expensive. Our export oriented sector, they are going to benefit because exports become cheaper. हम एक्सपोर्ट क्या करते हैं? एग्रीकल्चरल गुड्स एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं. लार्जेस्ट आइटम ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट क्या है हमारा? POL exports, petroleum, oil and lubricant. That is the largest component of our exports. So अंबानी जी का क्या काम है? क्रूड ऑयल खरीदते हैं, उसको रिफाइन करके बेचते हैं. So our export oriented sector, IT services, certainly they're going to benefit because of that. Gems and jewelry, precious stone, they will benefit because of that. But still you understand that there are dependencies over here. Dependencies हैं यहाँ पे. आपके exports भी imports के ऊपर dependent है. So it's not so straightforward कि हाँ इनको फायदा होगा, इनको नुकसान होगा. जरूरी नहीं है कि इनको फायदा भी हो. Your inputs are going to become expensive. Crude की वैल्यू तो सेम है, लेकिन हाँ you will have to shell out more amount of rupees to purchase same amount of crude oil. So crude in rupee terms will become expensive, right? Fertilizers become expensive. Natural gas becomes expensive because we are importing these items. गोल्ड हम इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. वी आर एक्सपोर्टिंग जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी, बट गोल्ड हम इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. गोल्ड को इंपोर्ट करते हैं, प्रोसेस करते हैं, जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं. बिकॉज गोल्ड बिकम्स एक्सपेंसिव, एज अ रिजल्ट आवर एक्सपोर्ट्स आल्सो बिकम एक्सपेंसिव. सो वी माइट लूज कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस ओवर हियर, राइट? सो देयर आर डिपेंडेंसीज, नॉट सो स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, बट यस, ब्रॉडली स्पीकिंग ये बेनिफिट्स हैं और ये हमारे चैलेंजेस, मतलब इंपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड सेक्टर हमारे प्रॉब्लम फेस करते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ करेंसी डेप्रिसिएशन, राइट? लास्ट थिंग बिफोर वी कंक्लूड, द फेयर वैल्यू. जैसे हम डिस्कस करते हैं रुपीज वैल्यू अगेंस्ट डॉलर्स versus other currencies value against dollars. For that we have this thing called as near and rear.
Get on the right track to commence your journey for the UPSC Prelims 2025 with the Fast Track course. An effective strategy will not only lead you to succeed in the prelims, but is also your launch pad to proceed to the mains. Starting from 19th November at 1 p.m, enroll to transform your journey with coverage of GS Prelims syllabus, regular practice, performance assessment and feedback, dedicated mentorship and guidance. How will the program help you? Result-oriented preparation in GS and current affairs, efficient time and resource management, development of problem-solving skills, motivation, confidence building and enhanced exam readiness.
Fair value. To arrive at fair value of currency, we use this concept of EER, effective exchange rates. $1 equal to 80 rupees. Or let me say 1 rupee equal to 1 upon $80. ये तो हो गया रूपी का डॉलर के साथ एक्सचेंज रेट. बट एट द सेम टाइम 1 rupee इक्वल टू लेट्स से 1 upon 10 चाइनीज युआन, 1 rupee इक्वल टू 2 जापानीज येन, 1 rupee इक्वल टू 1 upon 90 यूरोज. व्हाट इज द इफेक्टिव एक्सचेंज रेट? इफेक्टिव वर्ड समझो क्या है. इफेक्टिव का मतलब ईच कंट्री हैज इट्स ओन करेंसी. hypothetically had the rest of the world have one currency. rest of the world की एक करेंसी नहीं है. hypothetically अगर rest of the world की एक करेंसी होती तो इंडिया का उस rest of the world की करेंसी के साथ क्या एक्सचेंज रेट होता? तब 1 रुपया कितने के बराबर होता? कितनी rest of the world की करेंसी के बराबर होता? We don't have one currency of rest of the world. Hypothetically, if rest of the world had one currency, what would have been the value of Indian rupee with respect to that currency? That is what is called as effective exchange, effectively. So what we do is, we'll not discuss the calculation, but broadly speaking, what we do is, we look at the rest of the world basket based on our trade. हम देख जिसके साथ हम ट्रेड कर रहे हैं वो हमारे लिए ज़्यादा relevant है. अगर जल्दी कैलकुलेट करना है तो आप 6 करेंसीज ले लो. अगर और डिटेल में करना है तो टेक 40 करेंसी. हमने देखा था 40 करेंसी बास्केट एक ऊपर लिखा हुआ था, पेग. So you take let's say 6 largest trading partners. अमेरिका है, चाइना है, हांगकांग है, सिंगापुर है, let's say यूरोपियन यूनियन है. So you take 5-6 biggest trading partners and you see what is the trade percentage with each of these partners. अमेरिका के साथ मान लेते हैं हमारा 30% ट्रेड है, चाइना के साथ 30% ट्रेड है, यूए के साथ 10% है, हांगकांग के साथ 10% है. तो ऐसे हमने हर एक कंट्री के साथ, रीजन के साथ देख लिया how much trade proportion do we have with each of these countries. and then you take these exchange rates and calculate a weighted average exchange rate. ये हो गया weight, कितना percentage trade है, and this exchange rate you calculate a weighted average exchange rate. That is what is called as a country's effective exchange rate, EER. जब हम nominal exchange rates लेते हैं, that is called as nominal effective exchange rate. जब हम real का मतलब क्या है? Inflation adjusted. High inflation in India, low inflation in America. High in India, higher in China. High in India, low in Japan. High in India, higher in European Union. You take inflation differential also. केवल एक्सचेंज रेट नहीं, साथ साथ इन्फ्लेशन कि इंडिया में इन्फ्लेशन मान लेते हैं 6% है, अमेरिका के अंदर मान लेते हैं 8% है, चाइना के अंदर मान लेते हैं 4% है, जापान के अंदर 3% है, यूरोप के अंदर मान लेते हैं 5% है. सो नाउ यू इनकॉर्पोरेट फॉर दिस इन्फ्लेशन डिफरेंस ऑल्सो. We'll not discuss the formula, that is not relevant for us, but understand the point. When you take only the exchange rate, you are calculating what is called as nominal effective exchange rate. When you also take into account inflation differences across the countries, then you calculate what is called as real effective exchange rate, REER. So we use these EERs to calculate what is the fair value of rupee. तो हमने क्या काम किया? हमने यहाँ पे लिखा है, देखो 2015-16 इक्वल टू 100 इंडेक्स. तो हमने क्या किया? 2015 में हमने रुपी की EER और REER कैलकुलेट कर लिया. Let's say 1 rupee, I'm just writing some example, that 1 rupee comes out to be equal to 0.05263 of hypothetical currency मान लेते हैं. So ये हो गया हमारा रुपी का इफेक्टिव एक्सचेंज रेट, राइट? ये हो गया मान लेते हैं नॉमिनल इफेक्टिव एक्सचेंज रेट, नीर. और सिमिलरली हमारा 1 rupee इक्वल टू इन इन्फ्लेशन एडजस्टेड टर्म, लेट्स से इट कम्स आउट टू बी 0.0725 हाइपोथेटिकल करेंसी. ये हो गया हमारा मान लेते हैं रीर. तो हमने कुछ वैल्यू निकाल ली, मेरे को वैल्यू से कोई मतलब नहीं है, हमने कुछ वैल्यू निकाल ली. नाउ व्हाट वी डू इज वी सिंपली इंडेक्स दिस वैल्यू टू 100 कि ये जो भी वैल्यू है इसको हम 100 मान लेते हैं. नाउ देन ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम दीज एक्सचेंज रेट्स विल कीप ऑन चेंजिंग, फ्लक्चुएटिंग, inflation will keep on changing, so you keep on calculating NEER and REER using this dynamic exchange rate and then index them to this particular value कि इस index value की टर्म में आज वैल्यू कितनी होगी. तो मतलब अगर ये इतना था, इसकी वैल्यू 100 है, अगर आज रियल टर्म में, नॉमिनल टर्म, NEER टर्म में 1 रुपये की वैल्यू 0.05223 है, इसका मतलब 263 से अभी कम हो गया है पहले से. तो अभी इंडेक्स वैल्यू 100 से कम हो गया, मान लेते हैं 99 हो जाएगी बिकॉज ये कम हो गया है. सो यू कैलकुलेट दिस and then you index it and then calculate the index value term. So this is what you see over here. यहाँ पे index value है. तो आज जो रुपी की वैल्यू है ये यहाँ पर है, लगभग 107 के आसपास है, 107. That means रुपी अगर आज हम 2015 से कंपेयर करें, रुपी की वैल्यू जो हाइपोथेटिकल करेंसी की टर्म में 100 थी, टुडे दैट इज 107, मीनिंग रुपी हैज एक्चुअली स्ट्रेंथन इन दैट टर्म्स. And strength, even though politically might be good, export के लिए bad है कि नहीं है? Exports के लिए what is better? That rupee should be, केवल अगर हम केवल export की बात करें, again we can't talk only about export, we talk about both import and export. So but in that sense, rupee has actually not depreciated. In effective exchange rate terms, rupee has actually appreciated with the time. Is this clear? And the implications of appreciation are clear, depreciation are clear. This is about rupees exchange rate at present. That is the fair value, challenges, opportunities, but most importantly, the factors that have driven it. Clear to everybody? Fine. We'll take up the questions if you have any, then we'll take a break, and then we'll do the next topic, which is stock market corrections. किसी को कुछ सवाल पूछना है तो पूछो. एक सेकेंड यार, माइक देना है क्या? माइक.
सर जैसे आपने बोला था कि आरबीआई इंटरवेंशन तब करता है अनसर्टेनिटी में या वोलेटिलिटी में, तो अगर मान लीजिए करेंसी अप्रिशिएट कर रहा है, मतलब डेप्रिशिएट नहीं कर रहा, तो फिर आरबीआई को प्रॉब्लम क्या है, मतलब क्यों करती है फिर उस केस में, क्यों आ रही है?
देखो प्रॉब्लम वर्ड थोड़ा ठीक नहीं है. प्रॉब्लम की अगेन वो जो प्रॉब्लम वाला वर्ड है ना, वो को उसको पॉलिटिशियंस को ऊपर छोड़ दो. आप तो ये देखो जो हमने अभी डिस्कस किया है, दैट देयर आर चैलेंजेस एंड अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड अप्रिशिएशन डेप्रिसिएशन. एक्सपोर्ट्स अगर बेनिफिट करते हैं तो इम्पोर्ट्स खराब भी होते हैं, वाइस वर्सा. एप्रिसिएशन जब होगा, इंपोर्ट्स भले ही सस्ते हो जाएं, एक्सपोर्ट्स महंगे हो जाएंगे, एक्सपोर्ट्स पे ऊपर खराब फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. तो इसीलिए इट्स नॉट अबाउट दैट रुपीज बिकमिंग एक्सपेंसिव और डॉलर्स बिकमिंग चीपर, आरबीआई शुड not have problem with one and has problem with the only other direction, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आरबीआई केवल ये बोलता है कि भाई जो भी वैल्यू है वो एक फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू होनी चाहिए, मार्केट में स्पेकुलेशंस ना हो जो उसको ड्राइव करे, अनसर्टेनिटीज ना हो. बाकी वैल्यूज की 85 हो, 120 हो, 60 हो, जो भी हो हमको फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. So that is what RBI is targeting. It is targeting a reduction in volatility. It is targeting that exchange rate must be on the stable path, not highly volatile.
सर कोविड टाइम में या पोस्ट कोविड जब बहुत ज़्यादा अप्रिशिएट हुआ था तब नहीं किया था आरबीआई ने?
बिल्कुल किया था, लेकिन तब एक चीज लास्ट पार्ट, गुड दैट यू आस्क्ड, जस्ट conclude it over here. Firepower. What is the firepower to intervene in the market? Forex reserves. How does RBI intervene in the market? It sells foreign exchange reserves or it buys from the market. So when things are good, तब RBI को क्या करना चाहिए? Accumulate firepower or not? Meaning accumulate dollars from the market. If you, because you anticipate आगे uncertain times आएंगे, intervene करना पड़ेगा. तो RBI इसीलिए क्या करता है मार्केट में? If things are going well, decently well, RBI silently keeps on accumulating forex reserves. You see over here, RBI is accumulating forex reserves. But then, if uncertainties rise like they have increased in last few months, RBI will use this firepower to reduce, as in supply dollars in the market or not. So it supplies dollars to curb that volatility. During COVID times, वहाँ पे फिर ये हो जाएगा, कोविड टाइम में हमारे पास क्योंकि अनसर्टेनिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है, इम्पोर्ट कहाँ से करेंगे, तो तब हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या होगा? फॉरेक्स रिजर्व्स को अक्यूमुलेट करके रखना जिससे हम इंपोर्ट कर पाएं, या फिर एक्सचेंज रेट को स्टेबल करना. फॉरेक्स रिजर्व्स को अगेन ट्रेड ऑफ्स, देयर आर ट्रेड ऑफ्स ऑल द टाइम. इट्स नॉट सो सिंपल. ग्रोथ है, इन्फ्लेशन है, एक्सचेंज रेट्स हैं, फॉरेक्स रिजर्व्स हैं, इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट की कॉम्पिटेंस है. देयर आर सो मेनी ट्रेड ऑफ दैट पॉलिसी मेकर इज डीलिंग विद ऑन at every moment. So at some point of time, some trade-off would be something that is more desirable, something that I would do, and other times I would do something else. So that is what we are doing. So this is what you do. Accumulate the firepower so that you can fire when required, right? This is what we do. Anything else? No? All right, let's take a break and then we'll discuss the next topic, that is stock markets correction, right? We'll discuss that topic relatively quickly. इसमें हमने थोड़ा time लगा है, उसको हम 1 घंटे के अंदर खत्म करेंगे.